Oh, wow.
Welcome back
Hello.
to the Western Canada Regional Quidditch Tournament. We are live. I am your host, Wyatt. I am back from earlier, and I'd like to introduce to you my new pal, Gaurav.
Hey guys, this is Gaurav from TSC, and we are also joined by the wind tunnel, which is the tent.
We apologize for that, but sometimes there's nothing you can do.
Make the best out of a tricky situation.
But we're excited to share with you an awesome Quidditch game between SFU.
And the UVic Valkyries.
Exactly, and we're very excited. We have SFU in red, UVic on the right, I guess would be. We're just approaching Brooms up now.
Yeah. So UVic's coming off a back-to-back playing TSC in their last game, which was an unfortunate loss, but they're coming for a bounce back now against SFU, who I believe is still winless.
UVic had a very impressive victory earlier today against Calgary, so let's hold out hope that they can take on SFU as well.
Key for UVic is going to be getting Misha and all of their other keepers being able to drive through SFU's beaters and straight to the hoops. It's going to be key for their beaters to stay aggressive and knock out anyone in their path.
It's true. It's true. We've seen that kind of gameplay attempted from UVic earlier today, but we'll see if they can pull it off in this game.
It comes down to the beaters for UVic.
It comes down to the beaters for everyone.
Other than you,
especially UVic, except for me.
Except for Wyatt.
Except for Wyatt.
And for SFU, it comes down to them being able to pass the ball, and we
are
are
live. We are live, and UVic wins the Brooms up with the quaffle. They drive in. He's number 20. Oh, a great goal off the Brooms up. Congrats to UVic.
Perfect. So UVic with the Brooms up, was that number 21, I believe, who is not listed on our roster sheet, but SFU's coming back the other way, number 10 on SFU.
A fantastic dodge of the bludger by number 10. And is
no good.
Almost gets it in.
And
how
back to the
unfortunate.
keepers.
So what kind of plays can we expect to see from UVic today?
From UVic, you're going to see a lot of head down charging from their keepers, as well as a lot of back and forth until they see an opening, just like that, just like that.
Very nice drive, and is able to
boom,
ooh,
just like that.
That's it. That is in. Fantastic goal by the UVic keeper. Sorry.
So SFU is going to have to step up their chaser perimeter defense, because if you play defense like that against any keeper who has momentum, you will not be able to stop them.
Especially one who is as skilled as this one. We can see a very aggressive defensive play from the UVic chasers too, but the SFU keepers actually able to get by and
puts it through.
Routine, fantastic play.
Seems like we have a lack of perimeter defense on both sides at the moment. It'll be up to which team can tighten it up and which team will be able to stop the other team's keeper.
They'll just keep scoring.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
The best way to do this is by forcing the keeper to pick a side, left or right, and not letting him go right down your middle, as that shifts over your entire defense and forces the keeper to make a tougher pass.
I'm learning things today, too.
Hey, just a rookie like you, Wyatt. Just a rookie like you.
Just a rookie. Oh, a long shot is actually able to make it. But are they? Oh, very nice block by the SFU keeper. Unfortunately, that long bail shot the Hail Mary doesn't always work. But during those some situations when it does, it can make it worth it for them.
Oop, and that's another goal with number 10 from SFU.
Tying the game.
Now see why the problem with the Hail Mary is you're setting your chaser up to get absolutely destroyed when he comes down with the ball.
It's true.
We like to
That's
call
why
that
you really want to throw to someone who has no defense, nobody looking at them at all.
Yeah, or you want to throw a nice hard line drive. We got to call those Hail Marys hospitals, as when you come down, you're going to get rocked and end up in the hospital.
We're visited by our special guest, the wind again. Ooh, there's that line drive you're talking about.
Yeah, but that was right in front of a beater. So number 23 here in red, Danny Lee, he's going to be key. He's actually a keeper for SFU who's playing chaser at the moment.
Right.
But if you observe, he'll ball handle quite a bit. And if he sees an opening, he has the body type that he can just run through people.
Oh, and we see that happening.
There
now,
we go.
Running
Boom.
through 1-2, and is actually almost with a goal, but was beat, I think.
Nope. The keeper made a save.
He was beat.
Yeah.
But it was a great save by the keeper.
Looking like a young Luongo out there, blocking everything in his path.
They're slowing it down. They're taking it up slowly, which see if it works out for them.
Let's see.
Ooh, almost.
That was a bit of a Hail Mary.
Bludger.
So we got Morgan Cunningham here, actually, number 4 with that. Ooh, and that's another lob.
There's that hospital.
Yeah, that's out to Misha Whittington.
Oh, that.
And he just threw the broom into the SFU sideline. Let's see what turns out from this.
That was not very sportsmanlike, or if it was an accident, very, very
Odd
unsafe. A very, very not cautious play.
No, that was reckless. So Misha was
Reckless,
falling
that's
back,
the word. Thank you.
and I guess to avoid landing on his broom, he just chucked it into the SFU sideline with the same accuracy as Wyatt on the Quidditch field, so it did not hit anyone.
Good thing I aim for the hoop, not people.
You still miss either way, Wyatt.
Yeah, it's true.
And looks like the refs are going to take a peek to see if that looked intentional or if that was any sort of malicious intent, as that may actually earn him a red card, which will be 2 minutes off the pitch, as well as no chance to come back during goals, and he's ejected from the rest of the game.
Wow. But it seems like he's only given him a yellow, so I guess it was... I didn't quite see it, but I thought that was a yellow.
Looks like Misha's taking the call, accepting the fact that he cannot throw brooms into other teams' benches. And no, there's actually no yellow card here from the officials. It's
wow.
just a back to brooms, but ooh, SFU's on his way back and cannot find the handle on the quaffle.
Driving in is just unable to break that defense and
Well,
jumps over it. Unable to find a direct entry in. The chaser just jumps over and is able to make the shot.
Yeah. What UVic has to do is point to their beaters at the quaffle, and the quaffle carrier is just sitting right behind the hoops.
Oh! Brutal takedown.
There's
But
Danny Lee
very,
physicality.
very clean. Fantastic play.
It's a physicality from Danny Lee. And there's another
There's
lob
still
pass.
that long shot.
This wind is actually taking a little bit hold of these quaffles, so that way even if you lob it up, the wind can just actually take it and go to town.
The UBC keeper drives in again. Montana.
49 on SFU. And that's a
Oh,
goal.
that is a fair goal. Awesome job by SFU once again. Oh,
So-
whoops.
So SFU's been struggling during this tournament, so it's nice to see them put up a few goals in the early part of this game, get a tempo going, start building a little bit of confidence, and who knows, maybe you'll carry on to their next game against TSC.
Let's hope not.
Let's hope not, Wyatt. So Wyatt, what do you think SFU needs to do to take control of this game and dominate?
I think they do need to play a bit more defensively. They're really kind of letting the offensive charges get by them too easily. Maybe force them to pass more, because a lot of their passes have been those kind of lobs. So they can force them to pass more and then intercept those passes. We might see a better defensive play from both teams, actually.
And on the flip side, on these Hail Marys, if any chaser perimeter defender is smart here, or has played any sort of football or rugby in his past, he will see that that pass is telegraphed, and that's an easy interception. Easy interception, easy fast break, and you're legging it the other way.
Ooh, very nice beat.
Ooh, Morgan Cunningham getting beat there.
And SFU driving in it once again. And there you see the problem with those Hail Marys. They're very easy to stop.
The beater can beat them, the chasers can intercept him, or you just lay out your teammate to get absolutely pummeled into the earth and into the mud.
Very risky drive there, considering he was driving into several beaters.
So SFU is up 40-20. Still within snitch range for UVic, but it's up to them to make up these 20 points now. There's some Morgan Cunningham swinging it down to 21 on the close side here. And you can tell the beater's making a decision to beat him.
That long shot.
UVic,
Even on the reset. They're really taking a lot of risks with that one.
UVic is not setting themselves up for success in these half-court sets just due to the errancy of their passes. And there's Danny again.
Some shorter passes and some more aggressive defense by either team could win the game.
The push pass actually might be a little better option here than some of these UVic players who seem to just be winding up and letting her fly. Maybe just a kind of a chest pass so you know where your pass is going just because your team is struggling with accuracy.
Very nice use. Very nice way to keep onto the ball by the UVic keeper there.
Oh, and there we go, UVic. That was number 4, Morgan Cunningham, it looks like. Who was able to dunk it into the hoop there for another 10 points for blue.
Well done. A stoppage of play again. We'll have to see what the call is. Noticed that a lot today. A lot of stopping, which is unfortunate, but it does happen in a game like this where there's so much contact and so much aggression.
Especially when it comes down to the kind of first major tournaments of the year, the officials want to make sure they're getting that call correct, which is sacrificing game flow at times, but that's kind of a give and take, make the call, let them play, make the
and
call,
there's
let
so
them
many
play.
new players who are getting used to the game. It's better to, I would say, during the first few tournaments, really hammer the rules in for these new players so that it won't happen again in the future. And you can have these kind of
Yeah. Oh, and there we go.
flowing games.
SFU's charging
very
again.
nice drive.
Oh,
Is able to
score.
finish it. Very well done.
Yeah. So that was a Hail Mary beat from Black Headband on UVic number 12. He's got to make sure he connects, because otherwise that's an automatic goal for Red, and his team's even further down in this gap here.
A lot of very risky play.
Risky play occurs quite a bit in Quidditch. You can get a card for contact from behind.
It's true. You can get a card for many things.
That is true,
Not
rapping.
just contact from behind. There's a lot of things you can get cards for.
Ooh, and there we go. SFU is
Oh,
off.
very nice drive.
Yeah.
Against one beater is able to.
No, that was
long
horrendous.
shot. I would have suggested maybe to try to block the bludger and just drive in or make a pass.
Yeah, or you can even
But
at that
again,
point
we see
pull
that
it back.
long shot again.
Another strategy that teams such as Edmonton and TSC and UBC QC seem to be implementing is on those fast breaks with one beater, your ball carrier just runs straight at that beater and forces the beater to make a choice. If they want to beat you in the face, you just pass it off to your teammate who's running down the middle.
Ooh, no goal. Very close shot by number 1337. Very elite.
Which is Julian Cowden, who actually legally dropped his number to 133. He cut out the lucky number 7, which could explain the score.
Which could explain the score, exactly. Clearly the reason that SFU is winning this game.
Oop, and SFU.
Very nice drive is fended off very well, wrapped up by the UVic chaser.
But the keeper with the recovery and puts it through.
Very nice. That's all you need to do.
Put the
Drive in. And I think that if we see more of that from SFU, that could hand in the game.
So as I was told on a little bit of side story here, while the refs seem to be discussing here, the point of the game is to put the ball through the hole. You want to just put that quaffle through the hoops, 10 points, that's the basis of the game.
Right.
Which then comes down to offense. The whole point, no matter what you have to do, you want to put that ball through the hole.
And I guess whoever has the most points will win the game.
Yeah.
Right, okay, that makes sense to me.
Because if you're above 30, the snitch catch is irrelevant as long as you win the game.
It's true.
So Wyatt, it's your rookie season.
It is my rookie season. I am new this year, and I love this sport. There's so many interesting things about it.
What are the most interesting things for you, Wyatt?
Well, I love getting hit in the face with dodgeballs.
Oh, dude. The best is 8 a.m. warm-ups.
Ooh.
One of your best beaters isn't really paying attention, just whips it at you right in the nose.
It does happen, but that's part of the game. You just kind of got to deal with it. And it is a surprisingly aggressive game. I've noticed that even in today, there was a concussion. There was several other injuries, even on just our teams.
That's very true, and that's just the kind of the way the game is structured, with the lack of equipment and full contact, and the aggression of wanting to win. Because let's be real here, there's nothing sweeter than victory.
There is nothing sweeter than victory, except for maybe a nice chocolate cake.
I would have to fight you on that, Wyatt.
I would fight you for the chocolate cake, but not for the victory.
I would fight you for both. I would fight you for the victory and preceding the chocolate cake.
But you can't have your cake and eat it too. Here we see why Wyatt doesn't have any friends anymore. We're still waiting on the timeout to finish up. But tell me, as a more experienced player, how have your views of Quidditch changed in more recent times, would you say?
So I've actually had the benefit of starting to play last year, which gives me a season up on Wyatt, which may sound like a lot, but to be truthful, it's still learning every day. Watching our Team Canada players such as Cameron Cutler, Louis Leong, Cole Lee,
Austin, who is actually
Wallace,
reffing this game.
who's head reffing. These are all Team Canada players or Team Canada alternates in the past, and just having the benefit of watching these guys in the past, watching how they played their positions, is probably what I have learned in that extra year.
Wow. And how would you say the Quidditch meta has changed in the last season or so?
I found, as we're playing in the Canadian League now, it's a lot more top-heavy. Oh, and we're back to the game. We can continue the story.
Back in the game. We don't want to miss in the action. It's covered by the crowd a bit there, but we can see that the SFU is driving hard, is able to... Wow, some stellar dekes by the SFU chaser.
Yeah, and number
able to just go all the way across the field, but can they finish it again with that shot?
SFU has got to take that ball to the hole, and just like our idol James Johnson, they have to cock that joint back and bang on him.
Thank you, Gaurav, for that excellent metaphor. We will see if that makes it past the censored edit of this. But for now, let's turn our attention back to the game, because we can see that UVic has obtained control of the quaffle once again due to the goal.
Uh,
Goal.
Yes, I believe
Was
that
that a scored
was.
goal? Was that a scored goal?
Anyways, back to the action. Number 10
I don't think they scored.
on UVic, Patrick McManus. Their keeper here is actually, I believe, a rookie this season. And from everything I've heard, he's turning out to be a very well player.
Some very aggressive play by UVic again with that lob pass.
Yeah. And that situation,
Oh,
no goal.
no goal.
Oh, off
Did
the
that not
rim.
go in the net? Or
Nope. Oh, change officials are calling that a goal. It seems
Oh.
like the goal ref did not have a vantage point, made a no call, and was overturned by the HR and the AR. Back to the action. SFU is coming back the other way, number 10. And that was into
Oh.
the dirt, which is punted away by a UVic chaser.
so tell me about the rules on kicking, because that seems like a very under detailed area of this game.
So that play was actually perfectly legal as there was no one in his way and that was his first interaction with the ball. How it works is that you're not allowed kicking the ball when it is in someone's hand, and you cannot double kick the ball, which means after your first kick, you must pick it up with your hands.
Right. But could I kick the ball to a different teammate, and then could they kick it in that case?
Perfectly legal.
So you could play a form of one-touch soccer.
No. After I kick it to a teammate, my teammate must pick it up.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But as a beater, you can kick the bludger into someone's face, which has been executed in tournaments past. And as a chaser, if you have the skill, you can kick the ball right through the hoops.
But it really does make it so that most of the time when you are kicking it will be to distance the ball away from the chaser. Not to distance it too far, not to
Yes, it'll
knock
be
it out, but to get it away from the other chaser, such as if you're running towards the ball with them.
Yes, you could say it'll be a desperation act in a sense, just to get the ball to anyone but the other side.
Right, exactly.
Perfect. And back to the action. That is number 10, Patrick McManus, carrying the ball up with the handoff to number 1 there, Vincent Laborla.
Oh,
Ooh, back to McManus.
cuts
McManus.
across again with that pass,
Oh.
but is so easily blocked.
See, that McManus has to know that that Hail Mary pass is almost a death sentence to any chaser there.
It's even possible that that pass could have been made because he was open in the back.
True.
But perhaps more of a straight shot and less of an over-the-top thing that is so easily traceable would have been a better choice.
Yep, I would totally agree with you, Wyatt. And what else he could have done is actually take a few steps closer to the hoops, draw the beater in, take the beat, just so he can get rid of the ball at a prime location.
And that way, your pass can have some significance to the play, as
Yep.
it lets them score very easily.
Perfect. Smart boy, Wyatt, picking
I
up
try.
quickly.
I try. Oh, he drives somebody, slows down, which is interesting. I guess there was the bludger was starting him out.
The other thing about number 4 there, Cunningham, seems to be his lack of just, he cannot quite see all the passes yet, which is a little bit due to
There's a bit of
SFU's.
a pass there that he doesn't seem to be going for. It's unfortunately unable to make the goal.
Yeah, but he's got the reset back on top there. Cunningham's going across that far side there and flicks it right back. And we believe 44 is still clear. Oh, but SFU recovers the ball there. Keeper zone reset, and SFU is off.
Oh, a very nice drive
Ooh, and
by SFU.
Oop, and
So tell me, Gruff, were there any beaters during that play?
their beaters were out of position and were not able to make the play. So number 10, the keeper, realized he reset in his keeper zone. There was no one in front of him,
And he just
And-
ran for it.
and he was off.
And
Run,
that works-
Forrest, run.
And that works so well. It's why the beaters are such an integral part of the game, because if there's no beaters, it's so easy as an aggressive chaser, as an offensive chaser, to just run through all of them and dunk it in.
And speed kills in this game. If your beater is out of position and your chasers are too quick for this, it's over. The beater will not be able to recover, and they'll have to make a further pass to be able to beat the chaser.
We can see once more number 4 is
Cunningham.
being very threatened by number 14.
Ooh,
Again with that pass. That was a bit
that was more on a line.
That was more in a line, which was a great pass. Unfortunately, it was intercepted.
At that point, Cunningham's also got to look for his reset up top, or if he can dump it off to any one of his winger chasers, as he's being taken to the ground and has to get rid of the ball.
We can see the tackle is initiated by number 1, but is aborted.
Yeah, seems like he didn't
Unfortunately.
quite get a good reach, and
And
he's
he's going again.
yeah.
That was a bit close to behind, but well, nobody's calling
Yeah,
it.
actually,
so-
the rules are a little ticky-tacky in the sense of he initiates from the front, but then number 13 spins
Ooh,
his back into
we
him. That's a
out
legal
top
play.
right there. We have a drive running in. I think
Oh.
it's a fast break. Is actually
Cunningham
able
puts
to
it
get
through.
it in. Very nice play.
From his knees, it looked like he was hit and still managed to put it through.
Fantastic play. It's so important as a chaser to just have your eye out for those fast breaks and realizing when the beaters are not in position to stop you from doing that.
And a fast break also has your team running as well. So if there is a beater, you can draw them and then kick it to the trailer who's running right down the middle there, who can then proceed to crown the opposing team's keeper.
Oh, we can see the beat, a bit of a hectic
Situation.
festival there. But UVic does come out on top with the bludgers and with the quaffle.
Looks like 21 here. Ooh.
That pass did not go. Oh, and UVic is still in possession, but is unfortunately beat.
Yeah. And number 21 recovers the ball. Ooh, that was just sheer effort.
A lot of game with the bludgers right now. So many trades, so many exchanges. But we can see that right now SFU has bludger supremacy, I think. Yeah, they do. Which makes driving in for UVic that much harder.
So what UVic has to do is pressure their beaters to unload, which right there, exactly what. And that's actually number 37, Serena Chong, who's a very experienced beater for SFU and knows exactly how to coordinate her fellow beater partners as well as teach the new rookies coming in.
It's great to have a veteran like that on the team.
Oh, the experience is almost priceless.
I mean, not quite. I mean, sure you could buy your services.
Oh, you could pay for a coach.
You could pay for a
That's
coach.
what TSC does.
No, we don't.
No, depends how you look at it.
Oh, the shot was close. It unfortunately did not make it in there. Again, with the risky shot.
Yeah. So at this point, that's 3
But it does seem that the teams are figuring this out and are going for more drives now than they were at the start of the game. And we can see that reflected in the speed of the play and how many goals they're making.
Yeah. So SFU's actually had 3 different circumstances where they've opted for the mid to long range shot instead of going home and banging that in.
And not even as a slight to SFU, those shots are hard to make for anyone.
Very true.
There are very few people at this skill level or at any skill level who are able to make those shots on the go.
So the most effective way is actually to take 2 steps and kind of float it in like a basketball floater. But you also have to make sure the keeper isn't going to block it as well because it's very hard to put power in between.
Very nice pick and drive, but is completely totaled by the UVic keeper.
And he got absolutely pummeled right into the earth, and he is up, and he is all right.
But that was, I'd like to analyze that play for a minute. That was a very great pick and go by the SFU team there.
True. It looks like he went around the corner, lost an edge, and the UVic player made him pay for it. But it
I guess
seems
we're waiting for the call here. What would that call be?
It looks like it could possibly be a high hit, but the contradiction will be because he was slipping, the UVic player, it was impossible for him to stop his momentum, and that's just how he contacted the player. So it all comes down to whether or not they believe that UVic player had enough time to stop himself or to avoid hitting him in the upper body, which he did. So the rule is that he cannot hit him above the shoulders or from behind, and it seemed like he may have connected with the neck/head.
The refs are returning, and
wind is also joining us.
It does seem to be a card because they are leaving the field.
Yep, so they ended up giving number 133 a yellow card, it looks like, for contact above the shoulders, which is Julian Cowden, who will be serving 1 minute in the sin bin.
The sin bin?
I stole that from Don Taylor.
I figured you stole it because, you know what, let's not air their problems now.
We'll save that for off the air.
We'll save that for off the air.
And it looks
Play
like he's all right. And
is
SFU
able to go around and
he banged that home.
Bang it in.
Perfect. See, that's what SFU has to do by getting to the hoops and just dunking that and throwing it right through. Not settling for mid-range, not settling for the long range, but going through and wanting to make sure someone is underneath them for their Kodak moment.
And we can see that almost every time they do that, it has worked out for them.
Very true, and every time they're settling, they miss, they get beat, or their chasers cannot seem to come up with that quaffle. And we are back. Looks like number 64, Cynthia Chow, has subbed onto the field. And
one of the chasers is playing very aggressively, but he doesn't seem to be supported by any of his teammates, which is unfortunate because the chasers can just pass around him.
And very much so when there's no actual loaded beaters who can come up with the point ball carrier, it is very easy for the point defender to just wrap him up, wait for a teammate to come over, and finish that tackle.
But SFU has possession now. We can see that Montana is going up the field with the ball. So hopefully, perhaps trying to do the same thing again with the drive and shot because it has been working out for them very well when they do it.
He seems to be their primary ball handler as well as their primary scorer. So as a scouting report, I would say if you can shut down number 8, you seem to be shutting down a majority of their offense, which will just involve aggressive beaters, beating him anytime he tries to drive, and on making him pass the ball to possibly inferior chasers who may struggle to score as quickly as he does, or even struggle to catch the ball at times.
Right.
We can see number 23, Danny Lee, running onto the field for water, making sure everyone is hydrated.
That's a good teammate.
So
right there.
have you ever cramped up on this field due to a lack of hydration?
I have cramped up. It was a terrible time in my life.
Would you like to share this experience to our viewers?
I don't want to share this experience for the sake of my viewers. Just because I don't want people to type out the live stream.
I appreciate that.
I'd like them to keep watching. But you can just use your imaginations that it was very, very terrible.
Concurred.
It involved a lot of things that I don't want to talk about.
It's okay, Wyatt.
There was some irradiation in there. It's a long story.
One that possibly we'll be able to
spoon.
hear one day.
I'm actually selling my story on SoundCloud. It's narrated by me.
Oh, perfect. And
So
you
check out my SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/thesuzerain/. Check it out. I'm also on Twitter, also on Facebook and Instagram. Please check me out. But more importantly, back to the game. We can see here that both the teams are taking a timeout to discuss further strategy for what they're going to do.
So new rules this year implemented say you can have one minute timeout before the snitch is released. So the general strategy seems to be to call the timeout 30 seconds or so before the snitch is released. So that way you can discuss strategy with all of your players about what to do when the snitch comes out.
And we can see the Seekers getting ready and the snitch on the other side. But we still have a full at least a minute before the Seekers come on because the snitch has to come on first.
Agreed. And seems just like they are ready to fly out of this timeout with the keeper busting it right down the middle there.
Is able to block the bludger, not easy to do, and drive in.
And
is able to get the goal.
That was a great effort there for the tackle, but he could not seem to come up with enough of his man to pull him to the ground and stop the goal.
We can see the snitch is released now.
So that snitch, Jared Martin, is a second-year snitch with very long arms, very long legs, very hard to get around and catch his tail.
So what would be the effective strategy for a Seeker to get into against kind of a taller, lankier snitch?
The best strategy, I would believe, would be to push his arms up and then reach around and grab him. Because he's a little bit of a slimmer snitch, you'll may be able to get leverage by just pushing his arms up and then reaching with one arm all the way around and pulling that tail.
Right. We might be able to see that from these two chasers here, hopefully. Ooh, again with that pass, it does work out for them.
Yeah. So Misha's on the far wing there. Let's see what he's able to pull out. Whittington passes it to...
Oh, unfortunate.
Once again, a very high arcing pass, which is almost a death pass for his chasers.
Especially with a keeper as great as Montana, who's able to just knock it right out of the air.
So Montana seems to like using his physicality, but he just subbed off to give himself a break. As SFU is now actually out of snitch range and up 40. With the quaffle, busting it right down. He's clear. Passes off to 13 down in the middle. 13 is stopped by number 9 of UVic with that great block.
SFU is alone on the snitch, as UVic was just beat. And it's really interesting to see how the beaters have to play between the snitch and between the actual quaffle play going on at the same time. It makes for a very hectic but very interesting game. Again with that pass.
And they are beat, working their way back, and it looks like SFU's regained possession back in the keeper zone, ready for another forward charge of the cavalry. They're also the clan, not the cavalry.
Oh, I see. And we can see here how, because I think, if I have my score right, the UVic is not in snitch range right now. They can't get it. So we can see how the UVic Seeker kind of positions himself in between the SFU Seeker and the snitch, what he was just doing last time.
So that's called Seeker defense, whereabouts he's just stopping the other player from catching the snitch, not physically catching it for himself until they get within that magical 30-point difference.
Until where they can win with the snitch.
So it looks like...
you can see how aggressively the beaters are playing there.
So because the snitch is out, the beaters have to focus more on the snitch, which opens up quaffle play. But the problem with UVic here is that they look like they're too worried
about... Very nice drive. Is able to get it. Oh!
And right through that tall hoop.
Wow. Fantastic shot. The tall hoop we find is a lot less used than the smaller ones. It's a lot harder to dunk into.
Very much so. As the keeper generally positions himself in the middle, So it ends up turning out into who can just get to that side hoop first.
And what you see, which is actually kind of funny how this still happens, is people will often feint to the middle hoop and go to one of the sides. But people still fall for it every time because you have to try and stop the one they go towards.
Yeah, yeah. And the tall hoop, just due to its height, is the easiest one to score on, so it's just kind of playing your odds and hoping they'll miss.
Well, we have a game stoppage here. I'm not sure if it's a penalty or not.
Looks like a yellow card on number 23, Danny Lee, for illegal contact on number 4 there, on UVic, who is Morgan Cunningham.
Grabbed from behind.
Yep.
Unfortunate. That does put SFU at a big disadvantage right now. Hopefully that they're able to keep the defensive play strong enough to stop UVic from closing that gap to get into snitch range.
And how it'll work is Danny will be able to come back into the game if and when UVic scores. Which, great save by the keeper there, using his extremities to stop that quaff from going through the hoops.
We can see how aggressively, too, if we look at the snitch, just how aggressively the SFU beaters are taking it, not even letting the UVic seeker come even close remotely, just to give the SFU seeker such an uninterrupted pass.
No goal.
That almost kind of fumbled into the net there.
23 Taylor, number 23 in SFU, I believe her name is Taylor Mickle-Winkler, tried to almost deflect that ball right in, sort of like a volleyball bump, in a sense.
23?
83, sorry, my
83,
mistake.
Yeah.
And a goal from UVic puts them within 40 points here, which is now just one goal out of putting them back into snitch range.
You can see how
SFU seems to be getting desperate, just waiting there just to beat the UVic
just unable to just
seeker.
get close enough.
Yeah.
Almost a catch there against Jared. But again, that link just holding them at bay.
So Jared gets his 3 seconds to reset, and there he is. So if you look at number 30, he seems to just be trying to get into Jared and then using his arms instead of pushing Jared's arms up.
Which might be a more effective strategy against a snitch, like Jared.
Yeah. Nice tackle by 23, Danny Lee, back out with his physicality.
Is he
Morgan Cunningham,
finish,
number
though?
4.
The jump and
it's
fantastic
through.
Play.
Great finish by number 4, Morgan Cunningham.
Now, if I have the score right here, a snitch catch would tie the game here.
That is true, Wyatt.
And
that
send
is
us
very
into
true.
overtime.
You can do some math. I appreciate it.
If I have the score right, which is a big if.
So it looks like the officials are going to come together to discuss another call here.
I assume on the goal, perhaps there was a tackle or something that wasn't quite legal.
And that once again comes down to the game flow versus making the correct call, just to see, to implement their rules as well as letting them play. So it's a fine balance which the referees are still working to be able to get a hold of.
They're still going to a decision. And who would you say the favorite for this game is, Graf?
I would say
before the game started.
Before the game started, UVic was projected to actually win just because of their upset win over Calgary this morning, whereabouts SFU's been struggling all day to get anything
UVic
going.
has really improved in the last little while since the last tournament. We've really noticed an improvement in how they've been playing today. Much more aggressively, much stronger defense and so on.
And the Valkyries were actually winless last year. They did not win a game in any tournament, in any kind of regulation. So it's actually nice to see them being out here, putting together a strong team that's actually capable of running a lot of teams to the edge.
Especially a team like Calgary, which historically does do very well. And let's just hope that they're able to put up a fight to the finish for SFU as well.
And
we're awaiting the call here.
Looks like number 21 on UVic there is working his way to the scorekeeper's table to serve a penalty.
I guess. Will the goal still count, though, I wonder, if there was an offensive penalty on that play?
Just something that the head ref, Austin Wallet, should be signaling to us at any second. And if we do not receive any sort of signal, that means the goal was good and that they're continuing with the goalkeeper's call.
It does seem the goal was good. So perhaps it happened afterwards or something. We just didn't quite catch that.
There we go, number...
Again, Montana driving in.
And great effort there by the SFU
Not
chaser.
Montana. Number 10 would be Stephen Robinson.
Why even make staking his name the whole game?
No, I was talking about number 8 earlier.
Good save, good save.
I hope.
So we have a UVic player, number 17, who seems to be having to make a bathroom break here.
And we can see a very nice drive in. again with that shot, is able to make that shot.
And they're within winning distance at this point if they catch the snitch.
And we might be able to see that
Mm-hmm.
in the UBC Seeker,
Yeah.
or say the UVic Seeker.
So the SFU Seeker is actually getting a lot of one-on-one time here with Jared, just due to the strength of their beating during the situation. But he doesn't seem like he can figure out the formula how to crack Jared's code.
Yeah, we can see now how aggressively the UVic Seeker is playing for that
and
snitch.
they actually ran a substitution here to get 44 in, who seems to match up a little bit better with Jared there. Ooh.
Almost, but there was a penalty called. One of the UVic chasers.
Oh, that
does
is
seem to be
Misha
hit
Whittington,
pretty hard.
one of their top players, down, and he looks like he is in pain. Medics are
Ooh,
called,
no.
and we will update you as we see.
Medics aren't really moving. Oh, there they are.
Yeah.
Looks like the wrong group. But again, another concussion or whatever this seems to be in even the last hour.
So the players are down and take a knee. We will update you guys as we know. But this Misha looks like he's down. He's in pain. And we're hoping for the best for him. Hoping for the best.
While we are waiting, we'd like to have a word from our sponsors. All right, thank you. We're back. And again, we're still waiting on the condition of Misha.
Yeah.
Hopefully he ends up okay. The medics are trying to take good care of him. Everyone's taking a knee.
Oh, we're sort of team players are going back to their benches, going to give Misha a little bit of space, let the medics do their work, and hopefully he'll be a-okay. So a little bit on Misha. He's actually a certified head referee for Quidditch Canada as well, who was one of the head referees in the last tournament for Team Instinct that was held at UBC, as well as a player for UVic for the last 3 years, I believe. He's one of their top players.
So let's talk strategy, Rob. What do you think that the UVic team should be doing right now? Should they be focusing more on qualifier play to see if they can close that gap more, or should they be putting all of their effort into the Seeker?
What UVic should be doing, as they're only down by 20 by your scoreboard here, they should be focusing on catching the snitch first and foremost, as that's going to guarantee them a victory at the moment.
But that does risk SFU scoring another goal.
But they should also be focusing on the qualifier play to not give up that third goal.
We're still waiting on an update in his condition. It does seem like he is almost unconscious, or
he's just not moving there. He seemed to
moving.
respond to Cynthia when she had gone by there.
Which is really worrying. Hopefully that they're okay.
But going back to the game here, it's a very contested, very close game, and Jared is holding up very well. So there's actually certain handicaps that occur at time slots. So if Jared is out there for enough time at 2 minutes and at...
Do you know how long we're at now?
Sorry, we're just trying to get an update here regarding how long Jared's been out there for. So at the 23 minutes of this game was the first handicap.
That would be 6 minutes after the snitch is first released.
And 5 minutes after the Seekers are released, where he actually receives a handicap of only being able to use a certain section of the field, which is the center line.
And the second handicap.
And then the second handicap occurs at the 28-minute mark, where he's only allowed half of the half line.
He's only allowed to use one arm to defend against the aggressive Seekers.
Yeah, while the...
And then the third handicap comes in where they are bound to just a certain area of the pitch. Defined on both axes.
Oh, Misha seems to have a little bit of help here from the medics. Looks like an ankle injury here. We hope for the best, and they're giving him some assistance on the way off. So we're bless up for Misha, and we hope for the best.
Hopefully he ends up okay. Oh, we have the UVic team trying to build up the momentum again after such a long break. Unfortunate, but it did happen.
So we're hoping that maybe it's a sprain and he can be good to go for the next tournament or possibly tomorrow. But from this sake, looks like UVic suffered a little bit of a blow here. But who knows, maybe this will rally the troops and get them to come out in full force.
Full force, play aggressively, and catch the snitch. Because that could win them the game here.
Yeah.
And I really think it is either person's game here.
Very much so. It's just like you're starting back at 0-0. Whoever catches a snitch at this score will win the match.
Oh, I was a bit off.
Oh, sorry. It's 100-70 for SFU. We apologize to our viewers for our scoring error.
I missed. Okay. Oh, I think that one goal was counted as not.
Why would you like to apologize to the viewer?
I would like to apologize to the viewers.
Anything else you would like to say?
Gaurav is better than me in every way.
Okay, perfect. Just what we were going for. Anyways, we are back. So SFU is up 30. So if UVic catches at this point in the match, it goes into overtime. Yeah.
Which it does seem that the UVic Seeker is very interested in then,
Uh-huh.
because that does allow for a reset of the game back down to 0-0 with only a 5-minute time limit.
Yeah. And after 5 minutes, if the snitch is not caught, then it goes down to quaffle points, whoever scores the most in overtime. And the snitch is released after 1 minute. Sorry, the snitch is released after 30 seconds, and the seekers are released after about 1 minute.
So it really does seem that UVic is hoping to get the snitch catch now, and then they can get another quick snitch catch.
Very much so. But it also adds, because they go back to 0-0, they're not worried about this 30-point deficit which they're in at the moment. So it allows them to focus freely on quaffle play to score and not worry about stopping SFU.
Although they do have to be careful though, because one more point from SFU, one more goal, will put them outside of snitch range.
Very much so, yep.
So they do have to be careful on the defensive side.
Oop, looks like a yellow for SFU for... Oop. It looks like a 64, sorry, UVic. Cynthia Chow with the card. She's working her way back to the bench, as in she was hurt. Oh, sorry.
I'm not quite sure what the call was there.
Yeah, it seems like Cynthia is the acting captain now that Misha is hurt. But it is a foul there on the UVic player who's now in the sin bin ready to serve his time.
Unfortunate. Let's hope it doesn't put too much of a damper on their defense. We saw the bludger exchange. Neither of them were hit. They both missed. Oh, and a very aggressive attack.
Perfect. And off the top of the hoop there.
Oh, unfortunate.
See, at that site, their keeper, number 10, panicked when he saw the UVic bludger take one step towards him. That cannot happen. He has to keep his composure, keep running, shoot, and not be afraid to get beat. Because he has to keep in mind that if the beater has a weaker arm, he still has 1 to 2 steps to release that ball and get closer to the hoops before he gets beat.
And we see number 13 on SFU, Jaden Driver, really playing aggressively for that stage. Oh, almost getting the sneak attack by the UVic Seeker there. And
44 there, Gordon Favel, ready for UVic there to tie this game up and send it to OT.
Ooh. Very nice by Jared there, because the snitch is actually allowed to grab you off your broom and send you right back to your posts.
Yeah, so snitch has no restrictions on, he can use 2 hands, he can rip your broom off, he can throw you to the ground, he can body slam you if he wants to.
I think he can't touch your neck though?
Yes, he has to be very careful around the neck and the head. But other than that, he's allowed to just toss people around if he very much wants to.
Oh, almost there.
Oh, 69 in blue, tapping up Nathan Ross, the captain of SFU on that bludger. Oh, and he buys 13.
Very nice pass. Very nice, is able to finish. Ooh.
Yeah, but there's a snitch catch. 13 there in red catches the snitch, and that was all due to Nathan Ross being able to tie up the other beaters and allowing his seeker to have one-on-one time, which he was then able to execute on Jared Martin.
Very
catch
fantastic
the snitch,
play. We'll have to see if it's a good catch or not. But it did look clean.
From our vantage point, it looked like a clean catch, but it's once again, it's all up to the head officials.
They are shaking their hands.
Oh, they're referring to the assistant referee, Yannick Andreas, to work his way back.
Who also has a lot of experience in the game of Quidditch.
Very much so. Ooh!
The Cinch is good, which does give SFU the game.
So SFU with the victory over the UVic Valkyries with the snitch.
30 to 70.
Very much so. Give them a 60-point differential, and they are excited. It gives them the first victory of the day, ties them with the UVic with the 1 victory each, and they may even have the tiebreaker due to the fact that they beat UVic.
Right, because it does complicate things that UVic was able to beat University of Calgary earlier in the day.
Yes. So this will be very interesting to see how the official standings will look after today for the playoff seeding tomorrow, as it'll determine whether they're playing the top seed of Calgary or the 2nd seed of TSC, the Thunderbird Sport Club from UBC, to see what side of the bracket they will occur on.
Well, I, for one, can't wait to see. And with that, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back with whatever matches we have next.
We thank you, viewers. We thank Wyatt Bashir for his great scorekeeping, which is off.
Sandhar for his very bad play-by-play analysis, which kept getting shot down by the people near us.
But we appreciate you, viewers, and we hope that you guys can make it out tomorrow to Sullivan Heights Park, 8:30 in the morning.
To hopefully see the finals
very much so.
Of our Western Canada regional finals. Thank you for tuning in.
Have a great day.